friends. Welcome in. I wanted to offer you this brief vinyasa style practice for calling in a sense of calm and ease. So it's brief enough. You can definitely sneak it in on a lunch break if you're feeling the nervous system kind of wander astray, or it's a good brief little moment of movement before you settle in for your evening routine. Um, Go ahead and grab your blocks or books if you've got them. A blanket's great. Bolster or pillows are optional, but may be helpful in this practice. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and get moving. I'll meet you at the mat. And we'll start today in child's pose. So I'll meet you there. So if you'd like for landing in child's pose, you might want to take your bolster or pillow with you if you want a little bit more of a restorative variation. We're not going to be here for several minutes, but we will land here. So if you'd like, you can hug around your bolster or pillow, cushion your knees. And of course, if there's any hip, knee, ankle stuff going on, a more yin-like forward fold could suffice as a place to begin to land down there and take a moment to really just dive in to the inner world. A lot of times, um, those physiological changes that happen within our system, like the brain and the nerve network really takes over when we're feeling saturated or overwhelmed. And it can really kick us out of present moment living. And so one of the most wonderful tools we have is the practice of mindfulness in coming back to the present moment, which living in the moment is like a natural calming balm or salve for the system. Allow yourself to really dive in. Notice the way that you're breathing, the texture of what you're feeling on your skin, any smells. If you're playing music, ensure that it's calm and soothing. And take a few breaths, really feeling into this moment now. And just setting an intention for yourself to take the options in today's brief practice that feel the most medicinal for your nervous system. Maybe that means you stay right in child's pose for the next 15 minutes. And it certainly can mean you opt out or opt into something different or take props or shift the practice in any way that is most soothing for you. In your next few breaths, you can start to guide yourself up and out of your child's pose. If you've been with a pillow or bolster, go ahead and set that off to the side. Make sure your blocks are within reach. And then very slowly roll your weight forward. Take your knees in underneath your hips and start to roll your ribs in big circles, not fast. So big circles, but not fast. Really moving wide enough that you feel into side body, side ribs. Reverse the direction. If possible, get each of your knuckles rooting into the earth so your fingers are wide. Every part of your palm is grounding. And then settle back toward neutral. Now take that movement toward a cat and cow. Again, slow. Sometimes in more active vinyasas, this can really be a little bit of a whipping movement. So think of it in today's practice as, intentional, mindful, being very present with each and every articulation of your spine along the journey. Slide on back toward neutral and then tuck your 10 toes under behind you. And reach your hips high and back as we come into a downward facing dog. We're not going to vinyasa or do anything too activating in this practice, um, but start to take a soft movement, a bend of one knee and the other. And then I'm going to add in this little sway of the hips. So it's like a really gentle rotation. You shift the weight toward one shoulder and then the other. And then you can bring your gaze forward and step from here. We'll lead with the right foot, or you can land your knees down if you want something even gentler and step your right foot through from there. So if stepping from down dog, land your left knee to the earth, find your blocks. Keep your hands low and offer movement oscillation between a low Anjaneyasana deep lunge. The back toes can be tucked under or untucked, whatever allows you to feel the most steady, grounded, calm. And then rock your hips back for a half Hanuman. So the toes activate, right leg lengthens, but your hips stay high. And again, we're not going for like, where's the greatest edge here? Like, how can I get the most bang for my buck? I know a lot of vinyasa practices seem like that, but today the name of the game is calm, smooth, think silky, my pitta friends. How can I soften those sharp edges and just glide through the practice? Pause forward in your low lunge. Take a whole breath in and a whole breath out. And then reach your hips up and back, lengthen your right leg for your half Hanuman. If it's appropriate, fold upper body down and hold. Whole breath in and a whole breath out. And then root into the sole of your right foot. So, not building in vinyasa, practitioner's choice. You can transition here by inviting right knee back alongside your left and stepping forward there, or you can lift back to your downward facing dog, just if that feels soothing and comforting for you. Inversions can be great for the nervous system. So, this time, whichever journey you choose, it's left foot forward, land your right knee, find your blocks. And again, it's that deep lunge toward the front, back toes are tucked under or untucked. Find what's most, comfortable as well for your knee at the back. So looking for comfort, calm, and ease. Slow, smooth, and steady. Anjaneyasana. And then our half Hanuman, Ardha Hanumanasana. You might be able to match the movement with your breath. Most of the time, that means we need to slow way down. Right? We're not doing a cardio practice where our breath is fast and furious. The next time you lean your weight forward, take a pause in that low lunge, a whole breath in, and a whole breath out. And then reach your hips back and high, lengthen your left leg, activate left toes upward to the sky for your half Hanuman. If appropriate, fold your torso, a whole breath in and a whole breath out. And then everyone rock forward, press into the sole of your left foot. You can set your blocks off to the side or bring them to the lowest setting and land your palms there or onto the earth. Tuck your back toes under and take a big step to the front, Uttanasana. Lift up halfway, so that's hands to shins, to fingertips to the earth, or up onto your blocks. And then exhale to revisit your fold. As you inhale up, trace your palms along the fronts of your shins, the front of your torso, all the way up to palms over your heart. And then land out to your mountain pose. We'll take that Same half salutation in that really slow, kind of drapey variation. So from mountain pose, bring your palms to your heart, trace your palms down over your torso, down over your thighs and shins toward a fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold, and then rise up, really making contact between your palms and the support of your system, what grounds you in the legs, up your torso, palms to your heart, and then resting into mountain. Take a breath. Good. Palms back to your heart. Trace down your torso, drawing that energy downward, earthward. Fold Uttanasana. It's a halfway lift. This time, plant your palms again right to the earth, or if you prefer, onto your blocks. Take a step back with one foot and the other, just a breath at down dog. And then invite your knees onto the mat. Lower your hips, sweep your feet around to one side. Lengthen out your legs, as in Paschimottanasana, you can draw your toes back. For sure, elevate your hips. If your pelvis is drawing you back in space, you can prop up and take a fold. This is one I know a lot of folks like to exert this force on, but I will encourage you today to align with our intention to allow it to be soft. So I'm going to take my hands to block so my elbows and shoulders can be soft, even though the back sides of my legs are really lengthening and active here. And allow your head to rest low, taking a fold inward. Let your attention draw inward, your awareness. Dive inward, get present. And then go ahead and inhale all the way back toward a nice tall seat. You can set blocks, any props off to the side. Just keep within reach anything you might like for Shavasana. Take a bend into your knees and offer yourself down onto the earth with your knees drawn into your heart. And then rock both of your knees over to the right for reclined spinal twist of your choice. So it could be stacked knees, staggered knees. Some folks like the crisscross knee variation like Garudasana in the lower body. Arms can come out wide or cactus shaped from your shoulders. And allow your gaze to drift toward your toward your left shoulder or fingertips. And then inhale to peel back through center. Take a hop with your hips to make sure they're positioned. You might need to adjust a little bit in order to draw your knees toward the second side. So again, knees can stack, stagger, or even crisscross. Perhaps you want to send your gaze now over your right shoulder or fingertips. And then with a little scoop back of your navel, offer knees back through center. Settle in toward a nice square hip and rooted torso. So as much of your back landing onto the earth as possible. And then extend your legs upward to the sky. Bring the soles of your feet upward. If you've got an actual wall nearby for Viparita Karani, that's wonderful. Legs up the wall. Just a few breaths here for last inversion. Really get as much of your torso and your arms and hands into the earth. Perhaps you even want to rest your palms facing down into the earth. And then bend into your knees. Give yourself a last hug. And then go ahead and offer the whole length of your form down into the earth. If your preference for integration is meditation, of course, you can come toward a seat and land there. Otherwise, settling down whole length of your form with any support you like toward Shavasana. Just a brief pause for integration in our brief calming practice. Land into your breath there. Or for those at a seat, settling into a place of peaceful presence where there's a smooth and spacious breath. And mindfulness, a state of being in the present moment, that support to kind of get the sympathetic nervous system back offline, I would say, or at least settled, is this practice of what I like to think of as like an effortless effort. We're not trying to force or kind of wrangle ourselves into the present moment, but rather sitting with what is and offering whatever is with us presently a lot of compassion and our open field of non-judgment. And the next few breaths for those that are down on the mat, you can start to find some gentle movements. If you're seated, maybe little neck rolls, wiggles of fingers and toes. Or friends down in Shavasana, take a roll to your favorite side. And then press on up to a last place, a seat where we can close the practice together. And once you journey there today, I'd like to offer a closing gesture that will hopefully further help kind of ground us as we move off and into the whatever the rest of the day might have to offer us. Maybe that's right to bed or into nighttime routine. Maybe that's into the rest of your workday. But you can bring your hands down to the earth. Take a few cleansing breaths and inhale through your nose and then exhale through your mouth. Really softening your jaw. Just one more. Pour it all into the earth. And thank you so much for joining me in this brief practice to calm and soothe and hopefully bring you right back into present moment living, if even just for a brief few minutes. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you back for practice soon. Enjoy the rest of your day ahead, friends. Bye bye.